So if you're looking at your percent increase, decrease notes from Monday, we're going to have 4 steps that we're going to follow in order to figure out what the total cost of each of the following items is going to be. So the first statement or question is, a $15 book is on sale for 15% off. How much is the book after the discount? So I go to Barnes & Nobles. I want to buy the newest hot book, $15, 15% discount. So what steps do I need to follow? So what's step 1, Kiera? So I'm going to write my 100%. Then step 2 reads what, Deja? Well, just read me the whole step. Read me step 2. Okay, so we're going to look for the percent. Here's the percent, and if it's on sale for 15%, is that going to be an increase or decrease in price? Decrease. So that means I'm going to subtract the 15%. Don't forget your percent sign because we're still dealing with percents. So Deja, when you took 100% minus 15%, what did you get? 85%. So that was step 2. Step 3 asked me to do what, Danielle?
Change
You're right. Change the what? Percent to a... I can't read your writing. How do I do that? How do I change that percent to a decimal? Deja, help her out?
You can divide with 100%.
Not by 100%, but just divide it by 100.
Yeah.
Okay, so 85% divided by 100 equals... Okay, I'm going to circle this number. According to your notes, what is this number called? The multiplier. Good, AJ. So now I have steps 1, 2, and 3 done. I go to step 4. What does step 4 say to do, David?
Multiply the original amount by the multiplier.
Okay, so what's the original amount of the book?
Was it 50% off?
Well, $15 is the original amount of the book. And what's our multiplier?
0.85.
Good. Uh-huh.
What's your answer be $12.75?
Well, is that what you guys got when you typed it into your calculator? 15 times 0.85? Times 0.85. Yep, perfect. So, as Kaylon said, it's going to be $12.75. Now, because we're talking about money, you cannot forget that, that dollar sign. So $12.75. I'm going to box my final answer. So that's part of what your quiz will look like tomorrow. Okay?
It's going to look like the bottom ones too?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So it's not any different though. Okay? That's okay. We didn't really get into this a whole lot on Monday. We only had one example problem like this on our notes on Monday. Okay, the next one. Your bill at a, Your bill at a restaurant is $32.95. If you have to pay 8.1% in tax, and you'd also like to tip the server 18%, how much will you pay in total? So the first thing that we need to determine, how many percent changes do I have here? 2. Okay? So if we have 2%, I'm going to have the 8.1% and the 18%. Now, if I'm paying tax at 8.1%, is that going to be an increase or decrease? If I have to pay tax? Increase. Then if I'm going to tip my waitress or waiter, that's also going to be an increase. So this particular problem, we're going to have 2 increases. So like, for example, when you guys go to Buffalo Wild Wings, you're going to get your bill. You're also going to get taxed on your bill. And because you have somebody serving you, you also have to tip them. Or you don't have to, but you really should. So what's your total going to be after you pay that tax and after you tip your server? So we're going to follow the exact same steps by starting at 100%. We're going to do each percent change on its own. So we're going to do steps 1 through 3 2 times. So we're going to start at 100%. And the first percent change that I have is what? And that's going to be an increase, you guys told me, so I'm going to add that. So what's 100 plus 8.1%? So 108.1%.
But then when you divide it, it's gonna pop up a really big number.
Kinda. It's going to be the same number as what we have now, just the decimal's going to be in a different location and our percent sign's going to get dropped. So we did step 1, step 2. I'm moving on to step 3. Step 3 says I need to change that percent to a decimal. So I divide by what? Okay, when I divide this percent by 100, I end up with... Nope, try it again. Good. I'm going to use this whole entire number. This whole entire number is my first multiplier. So I'm going to circle it. So now I have another percent change. So I'm going to have to do steps 1 through 3 again. This time the percent change I'm looking at is what I'm going to tip the server, which is 18%. So again, I start at what? 100%. If I'm tipping my server, is that an increase or decrease in my price I'm going to pay? It's going to be an increase, so plus 18%. Usually you want to tip your server about 18 to 20%. So what's 100% plus 18%?
So you're gonna pay like $34.
Okay, I think it's going to be more than that. Okay, now what do I do with this percent? Because I'm changing it to a decimal. And what does that equal? And I'm going to circle it because this number is called my, what is a decimal, but what's it specifically called? Yeah, it's our second multiplier. So now that I found the percent change for both of my increases, I'm ready to move to step 4. Step 4 says start at my original amount. Well, what was the original bill? Yeah, $32.95. And I'm going to multiply this by my multiplier, or in this case, multipliers. So what's my multipliers? Yep. So I'm going to type into my calculator 32.95 times 1.081 times 1.18. Bless you. I'm just going to watch you to make sure. Oh, yeah. You had an extra 1 in there. Did anybody else type it in?
You have a long number.
You should be typing this into your calculator.
Oh, I should get my answer.
8
Oh.
equals. Okay, so you should have gotten 42.030361, right? Okay, so we're dealing with money. So the Buffalo Wild waiter isn't going to come over and say you owe me $42.030361. So how many places past the decimal do you need to go? 2. So we're going to go to the hundredths. Everything behind that hundredths, we're going to drop. But I also have to round. So I'm going to look at the number directly behind the hundredth. Is that a 5 or greater? Nah, it's a 0. So because that's not 5 or greater, it's a 0. This number, does it stay the same or move up? It stays the same. So how much should our bill end up being? And 3 cents. Good. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, flip it over. There's just a couple on the back here. Nothing long. The back side is a review of what you guys did yesterday. The reason why we keep reviewing the same materials is because we're going to build upon that, okay? Which means our next lesson, or lessons, will deal with converting. So I don't want you to forget. All right, make each of the following conversions. So the first, we have a percent, because I see my percent sign. So we want to change a percent to a fraction. So here you're going to have to flip back to your notes, your second set of notes. So how do I change a percent to a fraction. So you'll have to look at your second part of your notes.
You divide
I'm
76
tripping.
by 100.
I'm divided by that number.
You divide it by 100.
Okay. So a percent means out of 100, right? That, I was hearing you guys, a lot of you guys say out of 100. So that means my denominator is going to be,
Right?
what's my bottom number going to be? 100, yeah. So then my numerator is what? 76. Basically, it's the percent without the percent sign. This is not my final answer, though, because with fractions, you have to simplify. So what's 76 over 100 in simplest form? 19 over 25? Y'all agree? I don't have a calculator, so you guys have to double check. Yep. So box it. That's our final answer. If you didn't have a calculator like me or like Slacker Alex in the back row there, oh, he does have one now.
I just got it out.
What could you take 76 and 100 both divide it by? Not by 5. 2. Good. All right. This next one. What kind of number is this? 7 ninths. What kind of number is this?
7.
Over 9 is called a...
Number.
I heard it. Hallelujah. And we're going to change that fraction.
I stepped it.
Oh, did you? I'm still a little clogged up, you guys. This fraction is going to be changed to a...
So it's gonna be
Percent.
7 divided
Good.
by 9.
Say it again. Okay, you're almost done though. So we're going to first change that fraction to a decimal and then change that decimal to a... How do I do that? So Alex gave me the first step. 7 divided by 9. What's my second step going to be? I'm going to write it all together. Huh? So 7 divided by 9 is going to change it to a decimal. How do I change a decimal to a percent?
Don't you do it by multiply by 100?
Yeah, I'm going to write this all out in one step so I don't have to write extra stuff. So what's 7 divided by 9 times 100?
That's a long number.
Okay, so tell me what it is.
7,
7 point...
7, 7.
Okay, repeating.
Yeah, I know I had to write.
Okay, now, what's our direction say? Round to the nearest hundredth of a percent. So we need to round this number to the nearest hundredth. How many places past the decimal to the right is the hundredth spot? 2. So everything behind that we're going to drop and get rid of. But if we're going to round to this hundredth spot, I have to look directly behind it. Is that 5 or greater? Yes, if that's 5 or greater, my answer is yes. What happens to the 7?
It goes up to 8.
It goes up to an 8. So my real answer is going to be what? Am I done? Am I done?
Yes.
Percent sign? Am I done?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Box it.
Oh,
You guys are on the struggle bus. Nice job. Yep, that's it.